Thanks, Maeve, for sponsoring this video. Today, we will find out which country makes the best steak. We'll be judging in 3 factors. Number 1, flavor. It must taste incredible. Number 2, we're also looking for texture and juiciness. It gotta be juicy, because if a steak is not juicy, it's a no-go. But the most important one of them all is which one do we want to eat again and again and again. We will be fair to all of the countries, all of the methods, some techniques you've never seen before, as I'm digging deep to find out the best steak in the world. Enough talking, let's begin. And we're starting with Australia. Known for kangaroos, surf culture, deadly spiders, and a laid-back vibe, their food is bold, hearty, and made for the grill. But one thing stands out: steaks on the barbie. Here's how it's done. You first want to get your hands on a nice steak. This tomahawk will do. It is 1.5 inches thick and perfect for the barbie. To season, Aussies keep it real simple. A little bit of salt and sometimes pepper, as then you go directly to the grill. Australians are also known for their seafood. These are scarlet shrimps. They're easy to cook, delicious, expensive, and perfect to go along with some steaks. Talking about that, our steak is getting a nice sear. This technique is called front sear, and the idea is to get a nice crust on the steak as fast as possible. If your steak becomes too dry, you can use a little bit of fat to spray it on top of the steak. Avoid burning at all costs, but at the same time get a nice beautiful golden brown crust. Shrimps will cook quite quickly. You just gotta throw them on direct heat, baste them with some garlic butter. Be sure to cook it in extremely high heat, and the char on them just gives an additional flavor, which is great. In the end, you should be left with a beautiful steak. Most Aussies will enjoy their steaks medium rare, which is also my preferred doneness. And whenever you combine it with seafood like this, it's something that will please everyone. My Aussie friends, I hope I did its justice. But let's see how this one will stack up against the rest. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Ooh. If you love flavor, that is it. Well, what do you think, Leo?
I like the steak a lot, but it has like a very similar seasoning to what we eat. So to me, it's like nothing new. It's something that we already have and I'm kind of accustomed, so I feel a little biased. I love the garlic on the shrimp and that smoky charcoal flavor you get from it.
That's what I noticed the most. A lot of charcoal flavor because it's really charred up and it's nice and juicy. I love the combination of the shrimp and the steak together. Unlike Fefe, you went straight up for the steak.
Yeah, I had just a steak. This seems like nothing new, honestly. We have steak on the barbie every day here. If I had to put this on the tier list now, I'd just put this on C.
It's just a regular steak. There's nothing special about it besides being cooked on the grill. And the shrimp are fantastic. I love the combination of both. But
if we're judging just the steak alone, it's a normal Guga steak. It's something we eat every day.
It's delicious. It's good, but it's nothing crazy special, unlike things that are coming up. But I'll give it a C as well, Fefe.
C tier it is.
Now we're going to Mexico, known for tacos, tamales, salsa that bites back, and next level street food. Their food is bold, soulful, and bursting with flavor and crunch. But one thing stands out: chicharrón de ribeye. Translated to ribeye crackling, because no one in Mexico loves a boring steak, and crispiness is king. Let me show you how to make this delicious dish. Just like the name says, chicharrón de ribeye, you need some ribeyes. As you can clearly see, these have great marbling on them. The better marbling a steak have, the better it's going to be. As next, you want to go ahead and cut them in small cubes, just like this, about 1 inch thick each. Season them generously with salt and pepper. Mix it well to ensure all of them have a nice coating. Now outside you go and throw in some fat. You can use lard, beef fat, or any type of animal fat. You want to go ahead and render this down and immediately throw in all of the ribeye chunks. The key here is to cook them nice and slow under medium heat. We're basically frying the beef. We want maximum caramelization. You're looking for a little bit more golden brown. Once that's done, take it out and you are left with this. Extremely crispy bits of beef, but notice that most of the fat has been rendered, and Mexicans know how to introduce fat right back. That would be with a guacamole. Traditionally, this is served on a molcajete, which I highly recommend. Just make sure to add a generous amount of guacamole, followed by those crispy pieces of ribeye, and for some acidity and balance, some pickled onions go right on top. This is an experience, friends. Believe me when I tell you, it's something you must try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh. Let's just be honest, there's something to be said about guacamole and meat together, man. That is delicious.
I don't think I ever want a normal chicharron again. That was so unique and so delicious. It's so crispy yet still juicy on the inside.
And it's not pork.
And it's not pork.
That is amazing. Fefecin, what do you think?
This was an experience for me because this was my first time ever having something like this. Guga, I just went through heaven and back. That's what I did.
It's so good, everybody. If you've never had it, and yes, it is not pork. The texture is incredible.
Yes.
It is not by any means medium rare. If you're gonna eat some well-done steak, make sure it's nice and crispy and put some guacamole on the side.
You would think that the guacamole and the steak would be stacking fat, it would be too rich, but no, that just hint of vinegar from the pickled onions tones everything down and it brings it all together in a very nice way. I like this a lot. I'm putting it in A tier.
Whoa, what about you, Fefe?
This is an S tier. S as in spectacular.
It's spectacular. I love it, but I will give it an A as well. I'm with you, Leo. Let's jump on to the next country. Moving on to Argentina, known for tangos, gauchos, soccer legends, and massive meat feasts. Their food is rustic, passionate, and all about the asado. But one thing stands out: fire-grilled beef. And here's how it's done. This is flat meat. You can find it almost anywhere. It is extremely flavorful, and throughout Argentina, they like to cook this one a little bit extra than medium rare. Anywhere from medium to medium well. For seasoning, it's quite simple. A tiny bit of salt followed by freshly ground black pepper, as now it's all about the cooking style. Let me show you how you can build your own Argentinian style grill right at home. You first need some bricks. These will work just great. Stack 4 of them on top of each other. Make sure it is a stable surface. You want 2 stacks on one side and 1 on the back. Throw in a little bit of charcoal to get the fire going, followed by the most important thing, real wood. Now you want to go ahead and light that up, because the key here is that we're not going to be cooking with wood. We want to let this become coals, and that might take some time, but it is exactly what you want, as it will produce the most amount of flavor to your beef. Once the fire dies down, go ahead and break up the coals, spread them out as evenly as possible, get yourself a grill grate, throw that right on top, as now you can go ahead and start grilling your steak. Now the challenge of cooking a flat meat is that it is not even. Some pieces are thicker than others. That is where the fire management comes in. You can move coals around as needed, but there's one other thing that is a must in an Argentinian asado, and that would be this, provoleta. Most of the time you need a little dish like this. It's terracotta and it stands the heat. Get yourself some provolone cheese, have them cut nice and thick. Throw the cheese in there, add a tiny bit of oregano right on top, and into the grill it goes. And I gotta be honest with you, you don't need anything expensive to cook good steaks. This method of cooking has been done for years all over the world, and it is a great way to grill steaks and have some fun. As in the end, you should be left with this. Notice how pronounced the crust is. That is what you want, my friends. One thing is a must: cut them against the grain. And like I said previously, it's one of those cuts that will taste better if you cook it medium. But don't forget our provoleta cheese. Oh yes. To take it out of the mold is pretty simple. Just cut out the edges, throw it on your cutting board. You should be left with a nice, beautiful golden brown color. Cut it in 4s, and now it's time to serve. One other thing that is a must on an Argentinian cookout would be chimichurri. And it's super simple to make. Into a bowl, throw in some parsley, followed by garlic, oregano, black pepper, salt, oil, and some red wine vinegar. Mix that up real good, and you are left with chimichurri, one of the most popular sauces there is for steaks. This is known worldwide. You are probably very familiar with this, but the question is, how does this stacks up against every other country? Well, let's find out. Let's give it a try. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
There's a reason why this chimichurri is loved by almost everyone, seriously.
I like the steak. I'm not blown away by the steak, but I do like it. The combination of chimichurri with steak is like Argentina, you won on that one. It's a perfect combination. The acidity like really cuts through any richness and fat from the steak, so it's a really good combo. But the steak is not super flavorful.
It's a decent steak, but it's getting carried too much by the chimichurri.
Yeah, that acidity of the chimichurri is just a perfect combination, and one of the reasons why chimichurri is so good with steaks. But did it blow me away? No. Where are you putting this one, Leo?
I definitely don't think that that's the best steak in the world. Like you said, average, I'm putting it C tier.
I would go with C tier.
I was gonna go a little bit higher with B tier because I do enjoy chimichurri and steak together, but I'll go with the masses and we'll put Argentina on C tier. But now let's head over to Japan. Japan. Known for ramen, sushi, street-side skewers, and unreal attention to details, their food is elegant, umami-packed, and crafted like art. But one thing stands out, Wagyu done teppanyaki style. Because no one likes a tough bite, and in Japan, steaks melt like butter, especially if you get your hands in one of these. This is a Japanese Wagyu A5 New York strip. Notice how it is cut to perfection. It is shaped like this so that you can cook it evenly. Teppanyaki style is all about perfection, and when I was there, the experience was incredible, and I've watched and learned so that I can replicate it at home. First thing to do is to season it. Salt and pepper only, nothing else. Let this sit because we don't start cooking with this. Most of the time, whenever you go to a teppanyaki place, you need to have some garlic chips. It pairs perfectly with any steak. To get them cut to perfection, you can use a knife or a mandolin. Just make sure that it is nice and even. In the end, you're left with this. And outside to the griddle we go. You want your grill to be under medium heat, as we don't want to burn any of the garlic. We want to cook it nice and slow. The key is to have patience. And in the meantime you're doing this, you are achieving one thing: infusing the flavor of garlic into the oil, which will be used to cook the steak as well. Once your garlic is golden brown, go ahead and remove the whole thing. And remember to leave some of the oil behind, as now you want to go ahead and cook your steak. Have patience. It is not supposed to be super hot. Medium to medium low heat is the key. If you enjoy more seasoning, now is the time to add. The key here is to cook one side at a time. And once you got a nice crust, go ahead and slice them, as it is now time to serve. Usually they give you some radish, followed by some horseradish, some pickled peppers. We can't forget about those garlic chips, and most importantly, the Wagyu steak. Like I said before, attention to detail is everything. But is this the greatest steak in the world? Well, let's find out right now. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Wow. Yep, it is exactly what you expect when you take a bite. Fefe, talk to me.
This is butter, Guga.
It is beef butter, I agree.
It's great. However, for me, I feel like after the first couple bites, it's too much.
I agree with Fefe. I will say though that this steak is like literally the best type of meat you can get. It's the softest, juiciest, tastiest meat you will find. So in that sense, it's the best bite possible. But if you go for another bite, it's gonna be too much. That steak almost has its own sauce, and you can only have so much of that before feeling a little sick.
It is delicious. It is an incredible bite, but it's a one-biter.
Yeah, 100%.
So where are you putting this one, Fefe?
I'm gonna have to give this one a B, Guga.
You.
It's tough because the flavor and texture are amazing, but you're gonna go hungry after you eat this steak. You can only have one bite. For that reason, I'm going B tier.
I agree with you. You can have it today, but you will definitely not have it tomorrow. I also agree, B tier. Thailand, known for sizzling woks, grilled meats on sticks, tuk-tuks, and flavor that will wake you up. But one thing stands out: pad krapao with steak. Because no one likes bland steak, and in Thailand, every bite hits hard. You can literally use any steak for this dish. I'm going with ribeyes. As you can clearly see, they're slightly frozen, and here's the reason why. Just like a Philly cheesesteak, you want to slice them nice and thin. For that reason, you don't need an extremely high quality steak. Anyone will do. As long as you have a good ratio of fat and meat, you are good to go. So now outside we go, because this happens really quickly. Get your wok nice and hot. Immediately throw in the beef. Start stirring it and cooking it quite quickly. Don't forget to give some wok hay. This is a must, as it gives a nice smoky flavor to the steak. Crave a little hole in the middle, throw in some garlic and Thai chili pepper. Now go ahead and mix that up. Keep tossing the whole thing. You want to infuse as much wok hay as possible, as now you want to add some fish sauce and a tiny bit of water. Stir it and mix everything together. And you guessed it, a little bit more of wok hay. Now go ahead and turn off the heat, throw in some Thai basil, and mix everything together. Now traditionally, pad krapao is served with some rice. So go ahead and get yourself some. Add that beautiful cracked kapao steak right on top. But there's one thing missing, which is a must. That is an extremely crispy fried egg, which is done directly on the wok. Because the key here is to get those crispy edges, which at least to me is one of the greatest thing ever. Because check it out. Pad krapao, one of the greatest gift from Thailand. The question is, will it have any chance against the other countries? Well, we are about to find out right now. Cheers!
Cheers.
Oh yeah. In the word of Mark Weems, wow. Shout out to you, Mark. Me and Mark, amazing friends. Leo, what do you think?
I love this dish.
And
it's so flavorful. The meat has such a different mouthfeel. It's thin, it's crispy, it's beefy, and you really feel that heat.
Yes, of course.
The egg yolk on my bite really toned down that heat for me. So to me, it's a pleasant kick. This is a great dish.
And the crispiness that you get from the edges of the egg is just on a whole nother level. I really like this dish. Are you okay?
I'm jealous. I didn't have no egg yolk. I just got kicked in the mouth with this pepper. This is hot.
This is one of those dishes that I would say, like, I can eat this every day. Now, the question is, where are you putting it?
I'm gonna have to put this on A tier. I'm so sorry. This is
A
up
tier.
there. This is up there.
Okay, how about you?
I like it a lot, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I might go S tier on this one. Oh, let's do S tier.
S tier?
S tier.
Well, oh, wow, that's very high. I'm gonna say A tier because it's very, very up there, but I have a feeling others might come by. And so I'll say A, you say S. Final answer, A tier for Thailand. Before moving forward, I want to thank today's sponsor, Maeve. You guys know how much I love cooking the best food in the world. Wagyu, dry-aged steaks, bluefin tuna. I try to get the best of the best I can in my kitchen. And that got me thinking, if I care that much about what I'm eating, what about my dogs? Meet Chica and Cookie, my best friends, my kitchen assistants, and the ones that love steaks more than me. That's why I switched them to Maeve. It's the first and only human-grade raw food made for dogs. No fillers, no weird junk I can't pronounce, just real whole ingredients. Take a look at this. And it lives right in my freezer. No mess, no stress. They love it, and honestly, I feel good knowing that I'm giving them something that supports digestion, energy, immune system, and even their coat. Ever since we started Maeve, their energy has been up, they're more playful, and even their breath smells better. These girls are always with me. They're family, and I want them around as long as possible. Healthy, happy, and living their best lives. They deserve the best just like we do. So if you're a dog parent like me, and you really care about what they eat, give Maeve a shot. It's real food, human grade, no prep, no junk, just love in a bowl. Thanks, Maeve, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get right back to which country makes the best steak. Who will come out on top? Now, Brazil. Known for picanha, farofa, feijoada, and meats grilled in skewers, their food is smoky, savory, and made with love. But one thing stands out: costela na brasa, beef short ribs slowly cooked over an open fire, because nothing beats meat kissed by flames. To start, get yourself one of these. It is a 4-bone short rib. Usually in Brazil, we cook the whole short rib plate. Unfortunately, it is difficult to find here in the US. Now go ahead and grab yourself some skewers and go all the way through. And if you don't have skewers, there's one other thing you can use as well: a piece of wood. Oh yes, but since I have these available, these will do. You want to go ahead and season it generously with salt and pepper. Make sure to get the sides, because now outside we go. This is as simple as it gets. Place your logs whichever way is best. Add a few pieces of charcoal right in the middle so that it will help catch the fire faster. Light the whole thing up, and as soon as you got the flames going, go ahead and secure the skewers on the ground. And that is all it takes. All there's left to do now is to control the fire and allow the smoke and heat to take care of the meat. This takes time, friends, but believe me when I tell you, it will be worth it. As once the internal temperature of 200 degrees is reached, you should be left with something like this. Costela na brasa. I'm telling you, friends, this is not smoked, it's not medium rare, it's as rustic as it gets. Something magical happens when you cook meat like this. And unfortunately, it's no longer popular because of the amount of work it takes. But there's one other thing Brazilians love to eat with costela na brasa. That would be some yuca. We call it mandioca cozida. To make this is pretty simple because the special ingredient is the butter. You want to melt down a tiny bit of butter with a tiny bit of garlic. Yeah, I said a tiny bit, but I meant a lot. Once that's done, after boiling your yuca, go ahead and add a generous amount of the garlic butter. Now this is costela na brasa. Do yourself a favor. Try this at least once in your life. I have a feeling you will thank me later. And here we have Brazil.
Where's my picanha?
You know, that's true, and I know I'm going to be called out, but here's the thing. If I put picanha here, it's just not going to be fair to all other countries.
No!
But this is costela na brasa. In Brazil, probably one of the most popular things to eat after picanha. Enough time, let's give it a try. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, you nailed it. No.
I've never tried this combination, but it's surprisingly good. The mouthfeel of the yuca in combination with the steak took a little bit of getting used to, but I love the flavors. That yuca is kind of fatty. The steak is soft, perfectly cooked.
I love the smokiness flavor here. You didn't cook this on a smoker, right?
No. I cook it on a Brazilian smoker.
The OG way.
On the ground,
that's what I'm talking about.
You don't need extra money. It's not expensive, everybody. Get yourself a skewer, stick it on the ground, put some fire, and patience. A lot of that.
The number one thing you'll get out of that is an amazing bark as well. That outside is perfect.
So the bark is kind of like crispy, crackling a little bit because of the actual fire, and the meat is extremely tender and juicy. I mean, I don't know, would you eat this again?
100%.
That is amazing. Which one are we putting this on, Leo?
Oh man, this is a good one. I think it's going A tier.
I was gonna say S, but there's no picanha, so we'll go with 8.
Me as well, everybody. It's definitely going on A tier, borderline S. I'll just say that, okay? That is amazing, something you definitely should try. And here's the next country. Italia, known for pizza, pasta, gelato, and meals that start with wine and end up with espresso. Their food is simple, fresh, and built on quality over quantity. But one thing stands out: bistecca alla Fiorentina. And here's how to do it. Get yourself a nice, beautiful porterhouse steak. Unlike a T-bone, a porterhouse steak has much bigger filet mignon. That is how you know. Next is pretty simple. It goes straight to the grill. No seasoning, no nothing. This is it. You just want to grill the thing. So as soon as you got a nice char on the crust, it's done. So you want to go ahead and slice it, and you can serve it just like that. But there was one recipe that I came across that I think it even has a better chance of becoming better. Let me show you. Get yourself a good quality olive oil, throw in some rosemary, garlic, and lime zest, followed by a tiny bit of lime. Mix that up real good and strain the whole thing, because you are left with this. Now, funny enough, you can use this as a dressing for your salad, but also for steaks. But in most steakhouses, they just add olive oil, nothing else. But I want Italy to at least have some chance, so I add a tiny bit of salt. We all know Italians love their salads too, so I went ahead and made a quick one. Added that right on top of the steak, followed by some strips of Parmigiano Reggiano, and here we have bistecca alla Fiorentina. Let's see how it stacks up. Cheers.
Cheers.
It is lacking one thing, and one thing as always. Please, what do you think?
It's lacking salt.
There's no salt.
Yeah. The olive oil here is kind of throwing me off. Italy. Stick to pizza.
Oh, wow. Okay, what about you? What do you think?
It's just bland, and the other thing I don't like is that it's so rare. It has kind of like a chewy texture to it.
Yeah, I agree.
I like my steak seasoned properly. I like my steak cooked a little bit more. I might go back for the salad, but not the steak.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with both of you. You know, when you cook a steak, season it properly, everybody. A little bit of salt goes a long way. Love cooking it outside on the actual wood fire. It is phenomenal. But besides that, it's just not my thing either. I'm gonna put this one on F tier. You?
It's going in F tier.
Is this clear enough?
F for you too. Wow, Fefe, that was harsh, Fefe. That's correct. Italy will go on F. Let's jump on to the next. The United States of America, known for burgers, barbecue, classic steakhouses, and food that doesn't hold back. And one steakhouse that stands out is Peter Luger in New York City, serving legendary steaks since 1887. When I was there, I was served one steak, the porterhouse, just like we saw previously in Italy. But if you walk into Costco, there's one steak that will always stand out above the rest, and that would be this, the ribeye cap. I'm telling you, friends, you should experience this steak. We're gonna cook this one Peter Luger style. Now, a ribeye cap is basically the best part of the ribeye. Only the cap, which they tie it up like a filet mignon. You gotta make sure it's really tight. If not, the steak will completely fall apart on you. Season it well with salt and pepper, as now we need a broiler just like they have in Peter Luger. Obviously, no one will have this available at their house. However, there's an easy way to make one yourself. Let me show you. Get yourself a chimney starter. Fill the whole thing up with charcoal, tie up a paper towel just like this, add a little bit of oil on top, light the whole thing up, and immediately place the chimney right on top. You want to light up all of the charcoal. Once that's done, go ahead and add your steak to the grill, and using the bottom of the chimney, place it right over the steak. just like this. Now funny enough, it will not take long. It will put a nice crust on it quite quickly. Once that's done, throw the charcoal on your grill and cook it in indirect heat. Because in the end, you are left with this ribeye cap, which is cooked rare just the way they do it in Peter Luger, because we're not done yet. There's one other step that is needed. Get yourself a ceramic plate, throw it in the oven, and bring it to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, place a small plate right on the bottom, that extremely hot plate on top, followed by that beautiful ribeye cap. A generous amount of clarified butter goes right on top. You can go ahead and put it back in the oven or just use a torch to melt, because they like to call this the healthy juice, as now you are left with one of the most traditional American steaks ever, Peter Luger style. Now how can this one stand out with the rest of the world? Well, we're about to find out right now. Cheers!
Cheers.
If you are wondering if the steak is good, the steak's good.
I like the beefiness. I like the charcoal flavor. I like how juicy and tender.
Wait, you say charcoal flavor, huh? You can feel it.
Of course. It
They
has...
don't use charcoal. I use charcoal.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's okay. Keep going. I want to know what you have to
This
say.
is Peter Guga's.
Yes, fair enough.
Okay. Let's be honest. Charcoal makes its steak taste better, and that steak is better because of the charcoal cooking method.
But is it the greatest? Is it the greatest of the greatest?
Not really, no.
Okay, how about you?
I'm gonna be honest, this is a control. But I know we're not doing an experiment, but this is a control steak, 100%.
Fair enough, Pepe. Okay, this is like whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. I'll put this in the middle of the bracket, probably a C tier.
C tier. Yeah, I agree. You know, it's not special. It's not extremely delicious steak. Yes, this is good because I did do it on the grill. It is missing a crust because you only got to sear on one side and not the other, you know? I agree. C tier for me. You?
I just think it's lacking a little bit of flavor. The butter on it is really nice, but the steak doesn't wow me. It's going C tier.
This is a good steak, but it's not a steak that I'll crave it. I'll probably never use this method again to cook it. I visited Peter Luger. I went over there. I experienced the real deal. And I'll be honest with you, this one is slightly better than the one I had over there. And at least for me, it is still a C tier. So we're putting it on C. Jumping on to the next one. Korea. Known for kimchi, Korean barbecue, and delicious noodle and sauces that bring in heat. Their food is bold, balanced, and built around a grill-it-yourself goodness. But one thing stands out: galbi, Korean marinated short rib. And for that, you need this piece of meat. Now this is not LA style, which is cut with the bone. Let me show you traditionally the way it's done over there. You want to go ahead and slice it between the bones. Then the key is to butterfly it nice and thin. But when you're done, you want to go ahead and score it to infuse as much flavor as possible. Oh yes, this is on a whole nother level, friends, because now we just need the marinade. So into a blender, you want to throw in some onions, followed by Korean pear, some garlic, mirin, tiny bit of honey, soy sauce, some sesame oil, and sugar. Now blend everything on high, place the short rib on a bowl, and cover the whole thing with the marinade. Make sure the meat is nicely coated, as then you want to give it as much time as possible to let the whole thing marinate. Usually overnight is good enough. Once the time is up, take a look. You can clearly see that the marinade penetrated deeply into the meat. Now outside we go on the grill. Since it's extremely thin, it takes no time at all. The key here is to cook it under charcoal. Some Korean barbecue places only use electric or gas. It is not the same when you do it directly on charcoal. It's just better. Believe me when I tell you, friends. To serve it, usually with a little bit of rice, combined with some kimchi, some samjang sauce, raw garlic, lettuce, and of course the short rib. This is all you need. But the best part is that you gotta combine it and make a lettuce wrap. Believe me when I tell you, this is delicious. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, that's amazing. Look at this hair.
He's got goosebumps?
I got goosebumps, bro.
Wow.
It is so craveable. It is so delicious. The combination of flavor, the juiciness and fattiness of the galbi is on a whole nother level.
That sweet, spicy feeling on that galbi guga is heavenly. That thing was made in perfection.
It's not a meal, it's a spiritual experience. It's so delicious, and I love the simplicity of it. We're literally talking about lettuce, a sauce, the meat, and kimchi. 4 ingredients. And what I like about this that's different than other dishes is the meat is the star. You feel that flavor, you feel that char, you feel that in every bite you take.
Would you crave this, Fefe?
For the next 1,000 years. Come on.
Where are you putting this one?
S tier, no doubt.
You.
I'm gonna put that thing all the way up to S tier, man.
100% everybody. This one belongs in S tier. It is amazing, and if you've never experienced it, do it. This is the best steak in the world so far. Let's see if any other country will join it. Turkey, known for doner kebabs, meze spreads, and flavors layered with spice. Their food is rich, vibrant, and rooted in centuries of tradition. One thing that stands out the most for me is something I learned with my good friend Chef Erhan. This was incredible because no one blends flavors like turkey, and in Turkey, steaks get the royal treatment. For this dish, we're going to be using skirt steaks. It is perfect for it. You want to cut it with the grain and season it with a generous amount of salt. Next, after adding some clarified butter, go ahead and cook up your steak. As soon as you start getting a little bit of color, add tomato sauce. Here's where the magic happens. The juices from the meat will combine it with the sauce, making it delicious. As soon as the sauce reduces a little bit, take it off the fire. Now grab yourself some garlic yogurt, lay that down on a plate, followed by some magical potatoes. To make this, it's quite simple. You first want to grab some Idaho potatoes, peel them real good, grab a box grater, but instead of using this side, use the thin one. Shave them nice and thin, soak them in water to remove as much starch as possible and also prevent oxidation. Now strain it using a cheesecloth, heat up a generous amount of beef fat, and immediately throw it in there. Since they're super thin, it will take no time at all. As soon as they get nice golden brown, it's time to remove them. After cooling them down, place them right on top of the yogurt, followed by that beautiful beef with tomato sauce. A little bit of paprika oil goes right on top, and to finish it, a tiny bit of parsley. Now this is a must-have dish. Extremely well balanced. Get ready to experience different textures and flavors in just one bite. I am out of words on how good this actually is. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Blown away.
We had it before and we're still blown away. That should tell you something.
So good, man. It's just unfair how good this is.
The yogurt is so nice. It's soft. You got that crunchy papita, and then that meat is just as tender as all hell.
It's like a perfect balance of flavors because the acidity and the juiciness of the meat combine it with the juices of the actual sauce, and then the yogurt sauce just brings it all together. And for some crunch, you got a little bit of potatoes there for you. What do you think, Leo?
I love this dish so much. You get that nice beefy flavor from the steak, that nice tomato flavor as well. I like the actual hot and cold element of like the hot steak and the cold yogurt. I like that combo a lot.
This is amazing, but let's put it where it belongs. What do you think, Leo?
A tier.
I second that. A tier for sure.
A tier, 100%.
Now, Portugal. Known for sardines on the grill, pastéis de nata, and of course their beautiful coast. Their food is simple, comforting, and full of bold rustic flavors. But one thing stands out. Bife a cerveja, because if there's one thing Portugal people love, is their national beer. Now let me show you how to make this dish. You can use any steak for this. However, I'm going with this ribeye. Season it with salt and pepper, get your pan smoking hot, add a generous amount of oil, and immediately start the sear. Just make sure to get a nice sear in both sides, as now we gotta use their most popular beer, Superbock. If you're gonna make traditional steak from Portugal, you gotta use the real deal. So using the same exact pan, go ahead and throw it in there. Now add some garlic and bay leaf and reduce the whole thing. As it's reducing, add some Worcestershire sauce followed by mustard. Now mix everything well, and as soon as the sauce starts reducing, add some heavy cream. Now mix and combine them together, and as soon as it starts simmering, keep on whisking them. This will definitely help reduce the sauce. As soon as you get the consistency that you're happy with, your sauce is done. Now go ahead and slice up your steak, add a generous amount of the beer sauce on a plate, followed by that pan-fried ribeye, and of course a fried egg. This is a dish that you will find everywhere in Portugal. Homey, easy to make, but how will it stack up against the rest of the world? Well, we're about to find out right now.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
What do you mean by that, Fefe? You didn't enjoy it?
No, I'm not enjoying this steak. It tastes a little too bitter for me.
Too bitter. Yes, you're right. There is a little bit of bitterness
Yeah.
there. That's because it's a beer sauce. Very, very common. You didn't enjoy it?
I like beer cheese, but beer sauce, no.
No. How about you, Leo? What do you think?
I don't like that steak. It doesn't have a great flavor. It almost tastes under seasoned. I taste more of the sauce than the actual steak itself.
That's very true.
Which I really don't like.
Would you love to eat it again?
I like the egg and the sauce more than I like the steak.
That's true.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that is a big problem because the steak is always thin. It's normally cooked on the pan and then they'll just put the sauce to mask the whole thing up. And this is very, very traditional in almost every restaurant in Portugal. So where are you putting this one?
That might be the worst steak in the world, so that's gonna go F tier.
Wow, what about you?
F tier, yeah.
F tier?
100%.
Wow, I was gonna give it like a D, but okay. We will go with F. Sorry, Portugal, your seafood is world renowned. Your steak, not so much.
France, known for buttery croissants, rich sauces, and elaborate dishes. Their food is refined, flavorful, and it's all about technique and timing. But one thing stands out: bavette et shallot. It translates to steaks with shallot and wine reduction, because if there's one thing French people always get it right, is their French onion soup. Boy, this is delicious. And here we have a flank steak. It's thin, delicious, and also good in price. First thing to do is to score it, as this will make the steak more flavorful. We're basically tripling our surface area. Season it with salt and pepper, and immediately start the sear. Since it's a big steak, it takes a little bit of time. Once that sear is done, take it off. Now add some shallots, stir fry it, and deglaze the pan. Now lower the heat and add some cognac, as we need to flambe the shallots. Add a tiny bit of red wine and cook it nice and slow. Now add a little bit of butter, mix it real good, and repeat the flambe process once again. Now go ahead and throw in the steak, flip it and cook it until it's medium rare, as in the end you are left with this, bavette à la shallot. As now, you want to go ahead and plate up the whole thing, usually with some pearled caramelized onions, followed by that beautiful bavette steak, a few tomatoes on a vine, and of course we can't forget the shallots. Now this is as French as it gets. How will it stack up against the other countries? Well, we're about to find out right now.
Shout out to all my French friends out there, specifically one guy, Frenchie.
My guy, Frenchie, man.
French is the best, yes.
awesome.
I just came back from his restaurant. We had an incredible French onion soup there that was magical, everybody. But it's not about the onion soup. It is about this steak here, okay? Enough talking, let's give it a try. Please dig in. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That is quite delicious, everybody. I actually enjoy it. Leo, what do you think?
I like it a lot. Ironically enough, the onions is my favorite part.
The onions masks everything, right?
The onions are super nice, caramelized to perfection, so they're soft and very, very nice with the steak. My problem is that they kind of mask the steak. I don't really get a lot of beef or a lot of profound beef flavor, so.
You get a lot of onion.
Exactly.
What do you think, Fefe?
The texture of this steak is not very appealing to me, as the flavor is, right? The flavor is actually pretty decent.
Flavor is good. The texture is a little bit hard.
I just think there's too much surface here, Guga. This cutting technique, Guga, is not working for me. It's
Not
too much-
working.
It's too much surface area getting cooked on this steak. I'm not enjoying it too much.
With that being said, we must judge it and say it like it is. I'm gonna give this one a C. What about you, Fefe?
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I kind of want to put it at D, but let's not.
The best part of this dish is the vegetables, and if we're doing a steak video, that's not a good thing. It's going in C tier.
C tier for France. Let's jump on to the next one.
United Kingdom, known for fish and chips, Sunday roasts, bangers and mash. It's comfort food with no nonsense. Their food is hearty, classic, and made to warm you from the inside. But one thing that does stand out is their steak and chips. Crispy potato with a steak is always a good thing. You can find one specific style all over UK. Let me show you. We start with some sirloin steaks. In theory, you can use any one you have available. You want to season them real good with salt and pepper and immediately throw them in a cast iron skillet. Cook them as you normally would. Just make sure to get a beautiful crust, preferably done medium rare. As we all know, this is the perfect doneness for steaks. Now you want to go ahead and grab your chips chips, and a very well-known secret sauce. It's called l'entrecôte. Let me show you how it's made because it takes a few steps. You first want to start with some butter. Throw that in and let it melt. Now go ahead and throw in some onions and cook them down. Now add some walnuts, anchovies, some tarragon, nutmeg, lemon juice, capers, basil, cilantro, parsley, and sage. Now mix it up real good and cook it for a little bit. As then, you want to throw everything into a blender, followed by a spoon of Dijon mustard, followed by Worcestershire sauce, and 2 egg yolks. Now blend everything on high, and you are left with this, London's most viral sauce, l'entrecôte. It's said that this sauce is magical, and it makes any steak taste better. Well, we're about to find out right now.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's just a classic, no steak and fries. What do you think, sir?
I like the flavor of the steak itself. It's cooked perfectly. It's nice and beefy. The only thing that throws me off a little bit is the sauce.
What do you think?
The steak itself is good. If I were to take the sauce off, I would enjoy it. The
Yeah.
sauce is not doing it for me. And the fries are really good. Fries, I don't normally like fries. These are pretty good.
I think because it's not cooked on the grill, it's not cooked outside, the sauce is quite complicated to make, a little bit more of like indoors, bar food kind of vibe. That's what it's giving me.
It tastes confusing. Like it doesn't really know where it's trying to go. The sauce is like a little bit vinegary, a little bit sour, a little bit like it's too much. It's got too much going on.
Fair enough. Where are you putting this one then? Doesn't seem like you liked it too much.
I think this one's going in D tier.
D tier. Oh wow. How about you, sir?
Yeah, that's going in D tier.
Wow, I was gonna give it a C tier, but majority wins on this one. We'll put it on D tier. Galbi, today you stand above the rest because that was incredible. I wanna hear from you what should have made it on this list and it didn't. Because I can tell you one thing, every country has its unique flavors, their own way of cooking beef, and we should highlight it and praise it. Because if there's one thing we can all agree upon is beef is the king of everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with our list or not. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.